back for another Duke and Dave. Second day in a row. He was a real little shit at the end of yesterday's video, which you didn't get to see, fortunately, because you'd also got to see me get to see me running after him down the road in front of cars. Anyway, so with me dieting down now for prep, for comp and whatnot, one of the best things that I've utilised to help manage the reduction in calories is using intermittent fasting. Now, intermittent fasting, there are various ways of doing it. The simplest way for me and the most effective for me is I fast for 16 hours. So I'll have my last meal about 8 p.m. and I won't have my first meal until normally about 11, 12 o'clock the next day. I don't really watch the clock too much, so when I've got a free moment, I'll have my first meal. Now, whilst this doesn't sound like a lot of fun in practice, and it's not, because let's face it, you're dieting, you're hungrier than you'd like to be, it does make dieting easier. There's no special miracle, magical, unicorn happening things going on with intermittent fasting. A lot of people say that they got better results with intermittent fasting, and most of the time I'd say they're talking bollocks. It's just a case that they're more adherent, and for the following reason is that because you're fasting for 16 hours, it means your eating window is now only 8 hours instead of it being perhaps the other way around. 8 hours of sleep, 16 hours eating window. So if you are eating across your typical 16-hour day with reduced calories, your meals tend to be, you can either have your 4 meals, which are as normal, but your window of eating is 16 hours. So they've got to keep you a lot fuller for longer, and that's a lot harder. Whereas with a reduced eating window, you can have those same 4 meals in that 8 hour, and you do stay fuller for longer. And with the intermittent fasting style, so those 16 hours that you're actually fasting, after the first 2-3 days, the habitual hormones that kick in to say you're hungry no longer kick in, and you carry on with good levels of energy up until you're ready to eat. I mean, there are some days where, like when we moved the gym the other week, I didn't have any breakfast and I didn't eat until I think 4 p.m. after having my last meal. That's maybe I think 9 o'clock the night before, and I was fine. You're busy, you keep yourself occupied. I kept drinking some water and whatnot, and I said, "Hey, Juki, hey, say hi." Who's that? Yes. The cupboard. You've been swimming, haven't you? Yes. Come on. Oh, I'll give him a treat again just now. Hopefully that'll keep him occupied. But what was I saying? So yeah. So having that smaller eating window enables you to have your same kind of normal meals, but keeps you fuller for longer. And the actual time that you're fasting, your energy levels are very good. The first couple of days are normally a bit tougher, but after that, they're good. You no longer start to watch the clock as when you can eat again, and that will serve you well for any time, even once you finish dieting. And on top of that, you just manage the whole process that much better. For me, having 4 meals fairly close together, so I'll have mine now at, let me see, about 11:30 this morning. I'll have another one pre-training at about 3, another one post-training at 6, and then my last meal at 8. That's far better than me having to have had those same small meals, because they are smaller, because they're reduced in calories while dieting, at 6 o'clock this morning, 11 o'clock, 3 o'clock and 8 o'clock. You see what I'm talking about? Okay, so it's same calorie intake, but you're just playing around with the hormones in your body or your habitual kind of patterns, and once you get out of those patterns, it becomes very easy to manage. And people say, "Oh, you must be starving and this not," because I'm down quite a bit in calories compared to where I normally am. Duke, no, okay, here's a treat. But I'm actually finding the dieting easy. Everyone says that it's hard and whatnot, and don't get me wrong, it takes a bit of willpower at times, but so far you know, I'm finding bodybuilding in terms of training and dieting easier than easier than powerlifting. And most people would assume it's the other way around. And a lot of that is down to the fact that I have this ability, and everyone has the ability, but it's whether they want to use it or not, to try something like intermittent fasting. Any of my clients going into low calorie cuts and deficits, I would recommend them doing something like intermittent fasting to keep their energies up and to reduce that eating window, make their meals bigger, and keep them fuller during that time they are eating. It's great. There are other kind of minuscule benefits to it as well. I'm not even going to bother getting into those because, you know, for every pro there's a con down the line as well. But so look into intermittent fasting. You've got 16-8, so 16-hour fast, 8-hour eating window. You've got other guys who will do a full 24-hour fast, and then they'll have 6 days of normal eating. You've got others who do like an 18-6 approach, so 18 hours fasting, 6 hours eating window. You'll have another couple who do 5 days normal eating, 2 days of complete fasting. There are so many ways you can do it, and there's not really any rules as to how you do it either. So as long as you're managing your variables properly in terms of your calories in, calories out, and your macro ratios, intermittent fasting is a fantastic tool for when dieting. And I think a lot of people would achieve better results if they implemented this purely based on the fact that once you get past that, you know, habitual phase of wanting to eat, and you realize that you're not going to starve to death and you're not going to die, that they'd actually adhere to their diet much easier because their food would go much further in the eating window that they've got. So that's my slightly short but also rather long-winded this morning actually version on intermittent fasting. My mind's preoccupied with Duke, depending on where he's going to go running off. He's already been through the river. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's flowing nicely this morning. He got a bit of a surprise when he went in. It's normally a little bit shallower than this, and he went swimming head first. Serves him right, doesn't it? Anyway, so I'm going to go back now and have my breakfast. I'm going low carb for the week because I've got to weigh in for powerlifting at the weekend. So my breakfast this morning is going to be 3 scrambled eggs, half a pack of bacon, and then at lunchtime I'm going to have some chicken with another half a pack of bacon covered in mozzarella cheese, and then a big peanut butter bomb shake post-training. And then tonight is when I'll have some carbs, which will be a big plate of veggies and some meats, and that's it. Not a bad day planned. Are you right, Duke? Yeah? You ready? Okay, let's go home. Have a good day, people.